Hello everyone, my name is Peter Chai. I'm really happy to be invited here at the Waseda BAI Scholars Social Gathering at Waseda to share my experience with the BAI Asia Institute. Before I start my experience sharing today, I will briefly introduce myself. My research fields include political sociology and comparative politics, and my research interests include public opinion, value change, civic culture, and democratization. I graduated from the School of Political Science and Economics of Waseda University in 2021 with a bachelor's degree in economics. And currently, I'm a political science major at the Graduate School of Political Science of Waseda University. Talking about my personal experience with XIAN, I was a XIAN buddy in the Asian Future Leader program, or the AFLP seminar titled The Future in Asia in 2008. And I will be joining the XIAN summer program this year as a participant. During the Asian Future Leader program taught by Professor Willie Zhou in 2018, we had the chance to read the classic in comparative politics, and the title of the book is Asian Power and Politics, The Cultural Dimensions of Authority by Lu Xunpei. By reading the classic, we had the chance to study Confucianism across societies in East Asia and over different historical periods. We had in-class presentations, discussions, and debates in groups. And we had the chance to listen to the classmates' perspectives from Japan, Korea, mainland China, and Taiwan, and we engaged in intensive cultural exchanges. We developed important skills to reflect on the applicability of past studies and old models in light of new evidence. And we constantly ask questions like, do the theories still apply today? And what are their scope of generalizability? We also saw the differences between studies in history, comparative studies, and area studies. Historians are good at explaining the occurrence of particular events, but comparativists are responsible for looking for patterns and generating theories. And also, the comparativists and historians need area studies to shed light on local details and conditions. With the combination of historical, comparative, and area studies, we are able to look at history through the lenses of comparison and with a focus on local differences. As for my personal gains, I developed independent and critical thinking skills, and I also practiced my ability to question and critique previous scholarly works. I also practiced my public speaking and debate skills. And also, I got familiar with different approaches in political science and political sociology, and I got to understand the interdisciplinary nature of the social sciences, such as economics, political science, linguistics, and psychology. Importantly, the Asian Future Leaders Program and the advanced seminars of Professor Willie Zhou motivated me to apply to the Graduate School of Political Science and to conduct research in comparative politics with a focus on East Asia right now. Since participating in the AFLP seminar and reading classical works in the field of political science, I got to understand the arts of social sciences. First, I realized the importance of research design and methodology. Challenges like case selection, sampling, type of regression to choose can have substantial consequences for research results and their generalizability. And this requires robustness and causality tests to justify scholarly conclusions. And it is always helpful to evaluate past studies in light of updated evidence and add a self-evaluation section in our own papers. Also, I understood the importance of quantification, standardization, and formal language. The nature of comparative studies lies in application of statistical approaches, mathematical models, and machine learning as universal languages, all of which are based on careful definition and operationalization of vague concepts in order to avoid agnosticism and impressionistic and instinctual conclusions without empirical basis. Only through indices and axes can we meaningfully and effectively model and compare across regions and time series. At the same time, empirical approaches can complement themselves with qualitative approaches, such as in-depth interviews. I also realized the importance of peer review, critique, and falsifiability. The social sciences call for clear and falsifiable hypotheses, and it is only natural to inspect and reflect on methodological limitations and flaws in previous works, and try to answer old questions and test old theories in a more refreshing and detailed manner. The continuous process of intellectual exchange and collaboration can lead to paradigm shifts and the accumulation of knowledge. We can even say that any conclusion could be preliminary or tentative, and that a dilemma lies in our quest for universal truth and the difficulty to find one. Lastly, I understood the importance of distinguishing causation from correlation. Researchers in the social sciences need to acknowledge the complexity of the real world and the human nature, whether they are using observational or experimental study approaches. The relationship between two variables of interest normally involves a range of confounding factors. Instead of blindly running regressions and statistical tests, it is important to specify related variables and the direction of causality to avoid missing variables and reverse causation. To summarize, I would like to thank the XIAN Asia Institute, the School of Political Science and Economics, and the Graduate School of Political Science of Waseda University to provide me with platforms to interact with classmates from different cultural backgrounds. And their courses, seminars, and curricula have provided me with the opportunities to understand the art of comparative politics and the social sciences. I believe that the social sciences should never be studied in isolation. And as junior researchers, we should always stand on the shoulders of the giants. And we should try our best to understand the beautiful minds of previous thinkers and scholars.